What do you think? What do you reckon? Will there be any change on day 5 when tomorrow you guys go, like the track, the nature? Will you see anything changing tomorrow when you guys go?
I can't probably predict tomorrow, but I can just sort of talk about today. I think from the first innings there was seam movement. Obviously, there was a lot there. It was hard work in that first, probably especially the first 40 to 50 overs. But as the game's gone on, the bounce has got less and more inconsistent. So we're just getting more balls hitting the stumps, more balls are skidding through, and we're getting that coming through on the data. And that's probably the major difference. The seam movement's probably been the same, but just the amount of bounce is significantly lower. So that makes for pretty tricky batting there because more balls are hitting the stumps from a shorter length. Balls are skidding through. Balls are, a few balls shot up today. Yeah.
Putting a price tag on your wicket, somebody taught you or it is self-learning?
It's probably something I learned from when I was really young because I didn't want to get off the field and I always wanted to bat. So if I got out, I had to stop batting. So I decided that I wasn't going to hit the ball in the air for a while, and maybe I should have done that the first innings. But yeah, it's something that I probably learned as a kid, and it's probably seeped through into my game, and it's probably a little bit more part of my nature as a player.
That's it. On the left,
Yeah.
Mark.
Well played, Marnus. Marnus, I just want to ask that, are you guys is there a target you guys are looking forward to? Is there an overnight declaration, anything related to that, or what kind of a score you're looking for, especially, day 5?
Glad you think that I know if we're going to declare or not. No, what I would say is I think, we obviously had the perfect outcome for us, and that probably looked like having a bowl tonight and putting them under pressure. But, the way the wicket played and the way India bowled and came out and put us under pressure in that first 40 to 50 overs, that wasn't an option for us, and it became let's get as many runs as we can. And that's obviously creeping into a nice total now, but there was a time there where it could have been 250, 270, maybe even less there for a bit. So I think we navigated that really well, and the lower order level deserve a lot of credit for how they managed that last part.
Couple on this side. Dan first.
Just to touch on that, Marnus, does the fact that India have shown the ability to master chase big totals against you, does that play on your mind at all in a situation like this?
I'm not sure if it plays mind because you just got to play the game in front of you. But one thing I would say is in the past, India's middle to lower order have been very good to, very good. I mean, we think about India, AXA had a great series. So I think there's obviously, we want to make sure we get enough runs, but I think we also need to back ourselves and trust that, we're going to bowl India out.
Marnus, this partnership between Scott Boland and Nathan Lyon, how did the dressing room react to it, and do you think this has put Australia back in the driving seat again in this test?
I felt like we were probably ahead of the game just the whole way. India definitely clawed it back there today, and we probably going into day 5, 333. I would say that we're probably just ahead, but I would say that it was amazing. I was sitting up at the top with our batting coach, Michael Divenuto, and I was just, watching every ball. We're scrapping for runs. There was overthrows, leg buys, running twos. Mate, that last bit had everything. I mean, we even had the game finished with a no-ball wicket into a last ball 4. People that say Test cricket isn't exciting, I'm a player and I was watching and I was excited. So.
Can you talk about Jasprit Bumrah's spell? Jasprit Bumrah's bowling today.
Jasprit Bumrah's bowling every game has been pretty good. But he just is relentless. He just bowls a relentless length. He attacks the stumps with that perpendicular angle with his action. And he's tough to navigate. Obviously, as a batter, when you start your innings, it is difficult to start your innings. So finding a way to navigate that and navigate through his spells is important. It's something that we've clearly gotten better at as the Test series has gone on. And yeah, I mean, he's been very good this series.
But was it something a different way, especially the way he celebrated Consort's wicket, and he looked very charged up today?
I'm pretty sure the young guy got under his skin a bit. And I certainly get angry when I wang and I get reverse let alone bowl it. So I'd say that had a fair bit to do with it. And I mean, Sam's a very confident young player, and he really shows that, and I love that about him. So he'll love getting in the contest, and he'll love that Bumrah's revved it up, and I'm sure he'll be ready to go for the next innings.
Marnus, huge day 5 coming up in the context of the entire series. You guys are ahead by 330 odd runs. Just wanted to know, you were there back in the Gabba back in 2021. How different is that pitch from that Gabba wicket when India chased the 100 runs?
Yeah, I mean, that wicket was flat. That wicket in the Gabba. There were some cracks appearing there for memory, but the wicket itself, the main part of the wicket was really nice. I remember that wicket because I think that it almost started a day early or 2 days. It was like a day 2 wicket on day 1. It was quite firm. The ball was, a little bit of bounce there as you do get in Brisbane, but it was a nice wicket. And we were also in that position in that test where we had to win the series, so we had to try and set a total, and ideally we would have liked to set India more in that game and probably bowl a few less overs, but because we had to win, we had to risk it a little bit more.
Ollie?
How important have Pak's contributions been to that, not just this test, but throughout the last few years?
I mean, there's so many. Today was awesome, to build that partnership with him, for him to come out and for us to, build that, and just, there would have been a lot, we weren't taking all the ones. There was, it was a process, and I love that about how we navigated that whole lower order. We just stuck to the process, and we trusted that was going to be the way that was going to get us to where we wanted to be. And Pat was amazing. I mean, he took the game on. He knows his scoring areas, and he's played some amazing innings. I mean, we talked a little bit about that Edgbaston innings today as well, up in the changing room. He just finds a way when the team needs it to scrap and find a way to get big contributions to the match.
Louis?
Just on that, like, there wouldn't be too many times where you were shielded another rate from the strike, that kind of stuff. You kind of talk about how the whole team stuff there sort of maybe shifted with Bumrah across the series as you try to get,
Yeah, I mean, our conversation when Pat came out, I sort of said to Sean Abbott, who was the 12th man, I think I should just face Bumrah here. Because obviously I'd been batting for maybe 90 balls or something, and I had a fair feeling lining him up, and he was hot. I mean, he got 3 wickets in 2 overs, maybe. Yeah, 3 wickets in 2 overs. And so I just said to Pat when he came out, I was like, what do you think? I'll just take Bumrah, and we can run on the other guys, and but let's just make sure that I'm at the non-strikers end at the end of each over to make sure that if Bumrah bowls it, I can just face as many overs as we can. And we kind of stuck to that process, and then we just try to make sure that at end of each over to make sure that we don't get stuck, because then they stopped bowling Bumrah for a bit and tried to catch us out, and they did once. Pat faced 1 ball in our partnership of him and somehow scooted it through gully, and we're back there. But yeah, like I said, I think a lot's got to go to Pat and the team, just with the process of how we wanted to deal with it. We talked about it at the start of the series, and it's good for us to see the rewards come now.
Couple more folks will finish up.
Looked like Bumrah and Siraj took pretty careful note of the bowling in the first innings from both teams, and seemed to pitch it up a bit more and got a lot of reward for it. How much do you reckon your attack has taken note of just the length, maybe these 2 guys especially bowled today?
Yeah, I'm not sure how much different the length is. I think it's probably that question I said before about the wicket, the wicket bringing that natural length. That natural length that they were bowling in the first innings that was probably going over the stumps is now just hitting the top of the stumps more. But yeah, maybe they probably got rid of third slip into a cover area, which allowed them to bowl a little bit fuller. But yeah, I mean, I think for us, if we can hit the top of the stumps and find that in those first 40 to 60 overs, I think that's where the game's going to be hanging in the balance.
how important was it to you, Marnus, to have these 2 innings in a row? You going forward, what does it sort of mean to you to be able to be consistently back in the runs?
For me, that first innings, watching Sam bat and just the way he went about it, I was sitting there to Steve and I was saying, we really got to have a look at how we're going about it because this looks way more fun. But I think it probably just made me think about actually, what's my best method rather than thinking about technical or things. It was just more tactical. Okay, how am I going to find a way through this? How am I going to score runs? What does that look like? It's good to be scoring runs, obviously, and making contributions and helping Australia get in positions to win games. I think that's a nice place to be because obviously I've missed out a few times in the last few weeks. So